Josh. Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining tonight's call. I know the membership season is something that only comes around once a year, so a lot of people might have just forgotten or just want to kind of brush up on the membership packages and renewals before you open up to your customers. So today is going to be pretty focused on kind of the setting up and rolling over memberships, not too slide focused. We'll just touch on a few different features and then jump right in and kind of walk through setting up memberships and sending out payment requests. So probably the first thing just to mention before we get started, there is two types of membership packages. So we have the fixed date packages, which a lot of clubs use at the moment. So everyone has the same start and end date. So if your memberships are 1st of September till 31st of August next year, they'd be fixed date. Or you might do a data purchase package. So if I purchase my membership today on the 20th of August, and it's a 6-month or 12-month package, it would expire 6 months or 12 months from today's date. So probably just worth keeping in mind. I'm sure you and your committee know what membership packages you have at the moment, but there is the two different options available. Just also worth noting, if you are on the call and you guys haven't set up membership previously, we can definitely assist with setting up those packages for the first time and rolling over all your members or importing them, sorry. If you have them on a different system, just reach out and I can assist with getting those people imported and pending for this upcoming season. The next one, which I'll touch on in the demo, is your membership settings. So always good to review these year on year, just to double check that nothing's changed if you need to update your club's terms and conditions, as well as the confirmation message that's sent out to users once they purchase a membership. So we'll jump into the walkthrough just to go kind of through the steps. So as an administrator, once you get to your admin area, let me zoom in a bit so it's nice and clear for everyone. You'll first be clicking on the membership module on the left-hand side. So once in memberships, as mentioned, you've got your settings here on the left. So if you are using data purchase memberships, so 6 months or 12 months from the date somebody pays for their membership, this second setting here is relevant to you, the data purchase renewal. That means after 12 months, the venue can decide if my next 12 months will start from the day I make payment or the day my membership expires. So if it expired today and I don't pay till 2 weeks later, you can decide when that renewal date is. For this top setting, offline payment methods, which we'll touch on shortly, you can set it so if somebody selects an offline payment method such as bank transfer, they become an active member right away. I generally recommend keeping it set to manual, just so you can confirm you've received the payment before you make anyone an active member. Your confirmation settings, again, just worth looking through those, making sure everything's correct. Some clubs might have a form you ask members to fill out after they've applied for membership. This is a great place to put it too, if you hyperlink it in here. You might have a Google Doc and you could add the hyperlink so people can access that form once they've applied for the membership. And lastly, you can just add your terms and conditions down the bottom, just as a PDF or a Word document uploaded from your computer. So we'll jump into the membership packages now. For the most of you that are setting up memberships and had them last year, your packages will look something like this, with last year's or the soon to expire packages. If you've got data purchase, they'll show up below under data purchase memberships. So the easiest way to set up for next year is just start by creating your 25-26 memberships. So if I go to new package on the far right, I can then name the membership. The code is just for your reporting, so users won't see this anywhere, so you can put what you like in here. I might just put adult 26. If you set it the availability to public, it's going to show on your Clubspark website on the membership page for people to purchase right away. If you have invite only, it's not going to show online, but you can send out payment requests and people can still pay for their membership. It's just not a public membership. So this might be something like a life member, where obviously you don't want the public purchasing it, but you still want to send out payments for it. Similar with hidden, it won't show anywhere. So you might want to set up your packages for next season, leave them as hidden, and then turn them on from 1st of September, for example. For this package, as an adult, it will be an individual. If it was a family membership, you can select group and select how many people can join the membership. So if I went to apply for family, I would be the main contact, and then I could select 3 family members that are attached to my membership package. But for this one, we'll just do an adult. You can set a minimum and maximum age if you have requirements. So it might be minimum 18, or for a junior, it might be maximum 18. The summary is what shows up online when people are looking at the package. So it might be 4-year membership, includes court hire. Eligibility again, this will show up, so it might be over 18 years old. You can add tags to your membership. So I'm not sure how many admins are doing this at the moment, but you can create custom tags or there's some already in there. So you might want to tag all your adults with a senior tag. And that means when you're sending out emails, you can easily select that group and send out a bulk email to everyone with that contact tag. Up to you if you use it. Some clubs just email out by membership package, so not too relevant. So then we've got the dates. So this is where you would set a same date membership or a date of purchase. If it was date of purchase, you could select continuous, so people just pay monthly. The money comes out their card every month, kind of like a gym membership. Or you could have 12 months, 6 months. It might be kind of a holiday 3-month membership as well. But you could select the date. With the date of purchase, they would need to select credit card because they need to sign up with their card and then they pay monthly. With the same date, so you might have everyone for next season starting on the 1st of September and they expire on the 31st of August in the following year. The next section, we have the grace period. So this is more relevant for any of the venues that have court hire. The grace period allows people to stay an active member and book the court as a member once that expiry day hits. So some venues might have 7 days, some might have 30, some might have 0. It just means if it was 7 days after the 31st of August next year, I could keep booking the court as a member for 7 days before it starts charging me. So next up, we've got the payment methods. So if your venue has Stripe connected, you can select credit and debit card for online payments. The main benefit of this being if somebody pays online, they show up as paid and active automatically in the admin side, and you can see the transaction details. If you were selecting an offline payment method, other in this instance is probably the most frequent. You could put in the bank transfer details here. And then they could select the offline payment and they would have to transfer the money. So if they select one of the offline methods, there is an extra step involved on the admin side of just adding the payment in, which we'll touch on shortly. So if we scroll down, you've then got the cost. So for a adult membership, it might be $240. You could have a discount for people renewing if they're an adult member last year, or it might be the same for everyone. If you've got online payments turned on, you can allow installment payments. This is only available for online payments, so it won't be able to be toggled on if you've just got bank transfer. You might then say it is $20 a month for 12 months, and they can select when they make the payment, or you can set the 1st or the 14th, or whatever date they make payment. It is flexible with those options. You can also turn on the payment reminders, which I would recommend, especially if you're sending out payment requests. It'll just automatically send another email if someone hasn't paid, just following up, telling them to pay their membership. So once I'm happy with all the details, it is important to make sure the date and cost is correct, because once we import members into the new membership, they'll be set with those dates and costs. If we change it after that, it'll only be changed for any new members. So I'm going to save the package. The screen will re-upload. I'll see all the details. I can go back to my packages and find it. So now I've got my 25-26 adult membership. If I open this up, I can hit import members. If this is your first time as a club and you're importing, please reach out and I can assist with getting everyone uploaded for you. But if you are rolling over your memberships, you can jump in and find last year's package. I've got a lot of demos here, just 1 second. So once you've selected last year's package, you can include just the people that were active last year. So some people might not have paid their membership last year, you can exclude them, or you can just import everyone that was in that membership package. So once I hit import, it's going to say successful. I can go back to the membership package. And I'll now see 3 people in active and not paid. So the 3 people from last year, they're all showing as not paid for this year and pending members. What you can then do from here is select everyone, hit the 3 horizontal dots and select payment. And that'll send everyone a unique email asking them to click the link in this email and pay for their membership online. You can also add some additional text in here if you want to add any kind of additional information from the club. So once you set request payment, everyone will be sent their payment email, and then you're just waiting for them to pay online. If they pay by card, this will automatically update to paid and active. So nothing else to do from the admin side. If they're paid by bank transfer and you've received the payment, you could then come into the member, scroll down to transactions. You would then add the amount they paid, how they made the payment, the date they made the payment, and move them to active. And now that person's membership's all done, they're an active member and nothing else to do for the rest of the year. So that's kind of the steps in rolling over your memberships, sending out the payment requests. Now we'll just touch on a few little things that kind of do pop up throughout the year. So one big one is you might have a member that's not great with computers, or they're just giving you cash and you need to manually add them. So if I go into my 25-26 adult membership, I can go member options and add member. You can first search your existing contacts. So if I know they've been a member previously, they should show up here. Otherwise, you can add a new contact with first name, last name, and email. When you send them an invite, they'll be able to fill out the rest of the details as well. So we'll add one of my tests in here. That will then add the membership to the contact and have them as pending and not paid again. From here, you can request payment. That'll send them an email asking them to make their payment by clicking the link, similar as before. You might have a case where they've already paid half last year, so you can edit it before you send the payment request. You might want to change it to 200, and then you can send the email asking for the $200. If they've already paid and you're just manually adding it, you can just go straight to transactions, add the payment in, and change them to active. So what we'll do now is take a look how it looks from the member side. So if I was going to the club website, I visit the membership tabs. I can see the memberships that have been set up. If I was joining the adult, it'll then ask for the purchaser's details. So in the cases of a family membership or a junior membership, the purchaser is the main contact. So the parent or the head of the family. They would then enter their details. Then if they are purchasing for somebody else, they could then select their child or the other family members for the family membership. If I am the purchaser and the member, I would just leave myself selected. They would then continue to the payment. They'll see all the details. They can then select whatever payment options you've chose. So if it was the bank transfer, they'll see the bank account details here. If they select Stripe, it'll open up a pop-up box to put their card details in, make payment, and they'll be active. Any admins that have membership notifications, you'll receive an email that someone's applied for a membership or paid for a membership. So I just jump back into the admin side. So just to check admin notifications, if you select your administrator tab and select anyone in the list, you can then go edit contact, scroll right to the very bottom, and the admins will have a notification section. So if you want to receive an email every time somebody purchases a membership, you just need to ensure the membership is turned on. Just a few other kind of tips. So if I jump back into the membership tab, now your memberships are all set up, ready to go for next season. You can come into the memberships and scroll to the far right. You can go options and hide last year's memberships, so they're no longer available for purchase. You can do this a few weeks early if you don't want people purchasing a membership for the last 2-3 weeks of the year, and that will hide them from your website. Similarly with the 25-26, you just want to make sure they're all set to public, which you'll tell over here by availability, anyone, unless you're doing invite only, otherwise they all should be anyone. So they're showing on your club website. Just a few other things that come up, pro rata. I know that's big with a lot of clubs, kind of discounting your memberships halfway through the year. So very simple process. You can just open up one of your membership packages on that pro rata date, select edit package, scroll down to the cost. You would leave the expiry date the same. If you then make it half the price, this will then update for any new members that purchase the package. They'll see the prorated cost for the last 6 months, but it won't affect anyone that's already on the membership. They'll show their previous full price that they paid and the date they purchased from the start of the year as well. So pro rata, super easy to do, just jumping in and changing the dates. Just a few other of the functions. So we'll jump to the payments module quickly. I'm not sure if anyone's had a chance to use this too much, but in the account section, here is where you can add your Stripe account if you're taking online payments. It'll just be a button here that says register Stripe or add a payment account. It'll ask you to create a Stripe login and then automatically link with your Clubspark. For some clubs that might have multiple Stripe accounts, you might have a coach. They can connect to their account and then have all the payments for coaching going through to their account, and all memberships and bookings might go through to the club's main Stripe account. So that is an option for the multiple Stripe accounts. But if we jump to products quickly in the payments module, here you can add products that can be purchased during the membership process. So if someone's signing up for an adult membership and you guys offer the ability to purchase a key or a t-shirt during the membership process, You can select add product. This might even be things like interclub fees as well. So we put key fob in. You can put a description and a code if you like. The cost, so it might be $50 for a key fob. You can then select the membership packages, so all the 25, 26 memberships. This means when I go through and purchase my membership, I can also select an add-on of the key fob and pay for that as well. So if somebody purchases an add-on, again, as an admin, you'll get a notification that they purchased it, and they'll show up in the orders tab here. So you'll be able to see the recent orders. If they're paid, obviously in most cases to be paid through the membership process. If it is something like a key fob, you could then open up the product and confirm once you've shipped it or the player has received it. So a new feature we do have is someone might have gone through the membership process and forgot to purchase an add-on. So they missed the interclub fees, but they now want to pay for them. You can come into the payments module and select create a payment. You could then search their name, select the product. So we've already got that key fob in there. I could then hit request payment. That'll send me an invoice asking to pay for a key fob. So while this can be used for products, it can also be used for one-off payments for things like a restring, rackets, t-shirts, anything you're kind of selling. You can send out an invoice from the admin side. It can also be used for monthly subscriptions as well. If you're charging monthly interclub fees, you can send this payment out and people can sign up to be charged monthly. Again, once you send out that payment, they'll show up in orders and not paid. Once they pay online, it'll automatically update, and you as the admin will receive a notification.
Just have a question, Cody, coming through from Anna.
Yep.
Just a question, can we have a field to select the size of paying for a t-shirt, for example?
What was that? Sorry, the t-shirt size.
Yeah, t-shirt size. Is there a field to select?
Yeah,
For
not
example,
at the moment. The product would have to be t-shirt, small, medium, and large, and then they could select which one when they go through the checkout. So I'll give you a quick example now that that one's live. If I go back, hopefully it lets me join the same one. So we've now got this one in the membership process add-ons. So I could again confirm the purchaser's details, confirm the member's details, who's going to be the main member. And then all your products will show up here. So you could have t-shirt large, t-shirt medium, t-shirt small. It'll then add it to the checkout and I can pay for both at once. Again, and select my payment method.
hopefully that's answered that one, Anna. Just make sure you just put a new add-on for each size t-shirt at this stage. I've got another one from Wendy, Cody. The question
Yep.
is when you do a massive email out to your current members to notify of the payment, do you ask them to review their previous year's membership details? Is that something you can do within emailing out to members, or?
Yeah, so it will automatically load that page when you send the payment request. But I would definitely also include it. So I jump back to the payment section. So we got 25, 26 adult, not paid. You can also include it here, just reminding them to please double check your personal details when applying for the membership. But it will take them through those steps to confirm their address and all that stuff as well. Just the lucky last one I think I wanted to run through before we jump into some questions is the website module. So once your memberships are set up, public for people to go and join. I always recommend just jumping into the website module and checking your membership page, just to make sure the info is up to date for the 25-26 season. So you just click on membership, scroll down to the text, and just double check everything in here is correct for this season. If you want to double check what it looks like online, you can always click view website, and that'll take you straight to your membership page.
So much easier.
That's kind of, yeah, a walkthrough of the setup. There'll be a video posted in the admin area kind of walking through those steps again. But yeah, happy to jump into any questions or anything like that at the moment.
So I'm just going to read through the chat. Thank you for your lovely questions coming through the chat there. I've just got one from Betty, Cody, and Betty, feel free to jump in if I'm saying it wrong. Is it the same to just duplicate the previous year's package? How long does the membership link last? So when it gets sent out to them, is there an expiry date?
So jump onto the first one. So you can duplicate packages as well. This is more or less the same as creating a new one. Probably the thing to consider when you duplicate this year's package, if you want to import people straight away, I recommend not to, especially if you've adjusted the price throughout the year or the dates, because that'll automatically be assigned to everyone. I'll give you an example here. So if I import everyone over, it'll reload in a second. There was no one in that package, but if I added someone now or someone was added during that process, they'll automatically have the dates of the rolled over membership. So you see that's 25, 26, and jump back in. So if a membership package was updated to be half the cost, these new members you import before you update it will have the old cost. So this one's a bad example because it is the same day. So let me adjust this one. So whatever the date set here is, when you duplicate, it'll automatically just push it 12 months ahead. So you can definitely duplicate, just make sure the price and dates are right before you duplicate them. What was the second part of that question, Josh?
How long is there how long does the membership link last? I suppose that's expiry date. Betty, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it just how long will that link be active for memberships to renew?
Yep, so the membership payment email doesn't have an expiry date. People can always click on that one. The invite is a bit different. So if you're inviting people to register, that one does last 30 days before it expires. But the payment one shouldn't have an expiry date. People can click that anytime and it'll just take them through to the website. Probably just one thing before we jump into another question, Josh. One thing I did just want to touch on, sending out your payments is a bit different for your family and junior members because it goes through to the main contact. So if I was to add a family membership, just to kind of walk you guys through that process again. First, it'll be the main contact, so the head of the family. You would save the head of the family. Under member info, you can then add the children or the partner. If you're doing it as an admin, I could then search, find the other family members, add them so they're all in the one family package. But if I go back to all my family members, select my not paid, you'll notice there's no payment option here. For juniors and family, we first have to select main contacts and then the payment option will show up. So just that one extra step of going from members to main contacts for junior and family memberships. The reason being is because the payment only goes to the parent for juniors and it only goes to the head of the family for family memberships.
So just going through.
Any other
Just
questions
going
coming
through,
through?
yeah, we've got some more questions just regarding some Love Tennis. Love Tennis coming up in September. For those, I've got one from Tonya, and there's also another one from Tracy with Love Tennis. Um, for those joining Love Tennis on a reduced price, how do you do that without discounting the package? Or do they have to do separate membership packages or groups?
Yeah, so there is a couple ways. Probably easier to create a Love Tennis membership for this year with a separate price. And then once you kind of finish with the day, you can move it to hidden. So there's people who are still active members, but people can't purchase it online. Otherwise, if you were kind of doing an early bird discount, you could just adjust the cost. So anyone purchasing over those 2 days or that weekend will get the new cost and then just fix the price back after the weekend. So it kind of just depends which way you'd prefer. It's probably easier just to have a new package that people can apply for over that weekend and then just moving it from public after Love Tennis weekend.
Oh, got one from Tracy with how if you could just show us a reminder of how you can merge, for example, a Love Tennis senior membership with the adult memberships. So
Yeah,
yep, so merging
yeah.
memberships into.
On the side, we've got the types. So you can import the same type. So if I'm creating 25, 26 family, I can import 24, 25 family. That just means when you create a Love Tennis membership, if it's an adult, you can then go to the next year, so 25, 26 membership. Again, select import. If you then select the Love Tennis package, it'll import all those people from Love Tennis into the adult package.
Awesome. Thanks, Cody. We're just going through some more comments in here, then we can open up to those on the mics. One from Graham, Cody. What reports or data extracts can you do for administrators to cross-reference with Xero? So how can you export membership
Yeah,
data?
excellent question. Definitely should have covered that. So you can do it by membership package by opening one of them up or by view all members. You might want a list of all your active or your not paid, for example. Once you've selected one of these tabs, you can export as a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet. You can also kind of look for specific stuff. So if you're viewing all members and I zoom out, you might want a list of all your juniors, for example, and you can export that. Or you might want a list of everyone that's expiring at a certain time. Go across, you might want everyone that's still pending, and then you can pull an export of all your pending. Why we don't integrate directly with Xero, the export is kind of designed to be Xero friendly. To export this data into a spreadsheet and then upload that into Xero.
Oh, thanks, Cody. Got a question from Anna. Could you please review or remind us how we email members by tags and how to change the sender email if we can?
Yep. So first one, sender email. So on your admin section, you have a profile tab. If you scroll about halfway down on profile, we'll see a section which is your reply to email. So definitely recommend checking this for all admins. Whatever email you have here means if you send an email off Clubspark and somebody replies to it, it'll come back to this reply to your email address. So if you're sending out membership payments and someone comes back with a question, it'll come back to whatever reply to email you have. In terms of emailing people with tags, if you jump into contacts, you can use the tags filter. So you might have all your seniors. You can then select them and send out an email. The main benefit of doing it through contacts, include anyone that hasn't registered if you've manually added them. But in contacts, you can add an attachment for a flyer or a fixture or something like that. you can attach it to the email. You can also use the same contact section if you just want to email all your active members. Excuse the zoom out, but if I zoom out to member status, I could go active and then just send an email to my active members.
Cody, if the reply to email address is blank, what's the default behavior?
Then it wouldn't be replying back to anyone. So definitely recommend making sure there's something in there.
Okay.
Some clubs in